today, not DFS, not even realizing it, branded for my real job as a realtor. But anyhow, welcome back. My name is Keith Jameson, Go Back Your Guide 231 across the DFS industry. We got 5 games, EPL. Looking forward to it. Actually, I will say this. I'm less looking forward to it after seeing the fact that Pascal Gross is not a forward. And forward is a complete and utter disaster because he's not there. So that part kind of sucks because unless I'm missing somebody, which totally happens, feel free to put in the chat or not the chat, in the comments who I missed. But I see one forward of the floor. It's Leon Bailey. I'm not even that excited about his floor. So anyhow, there's that. Quick reminder, like, subscribe, comment to the video. We really do appreciate that. If you're looking for more of us or want to chat with like us during the slate, before the slate, while we get set piece stickers, myself and Tendril Storm, make sure you click the link below to join FSI. Really good group. Play every single slate. So yeah, it's good fun. All right, enough meandering, chatting, whatever the hell I'm doing. Actually, this hat's throwing me off. Too much of one color. Anyhow, sorry about that in advance. Let's jump into the slate. Biggest favorite on the slate is not Manchester United. It is not Liverpool. It is Brighton Hove Albion hosting Bournemouth. I think the fact that United's at home facing a Palace team that for some reason people think is not that good, who has a really good chance to bunker, and I think cause Manchester United problems, especially without Christian Eriksen threading the needle on passes. I believe, if I recall right, I might be wrong, so don't hold me to this. I think Casemiro, it might be suspended? I don't remember. He's not really a DFS threat anyways, so it doesn't impact too much, but especially if he wasn't in, this game could be really interesting. So, I really love Brighton as a GPP stack. I think it was one of the first stacks that you make. It really sucks that Pascal Gross is not a forward. We've been used to that for 3 years. The MF midfield forward, central defensive midfielder, sometimes playing as a 10, sometimes a right back, wherever. He still had that for eligibility. He does not anymore. So that is a really big hit. He versus Solly March, now that Gross's forward eligibility is not there, I think is a lot closer than a lot of people may give it. I believe Pascal Gross should still be on penalties. They haven't had a penalty in a while. But Solly March has been awesome. It's 1,000 cheaper. So I think there's a really good shot that Solly March I might prefer to Pascal Gross, but I think you need one. They split sets. Pascal Gross does take a few more, has more of an ability to like go to Solly March's side, but Solly March is better open play value than Pascal Gross does, especially if Pascal Gross is playing back as one of the midfield, the defensive midfield too, with Caicedo. Although Caicedo might not play because of the whole transfer saga. Okay, so Solly March, Pascal Gross. If in, I think Evan Ferguson as a forward. It's interesting. Goal dependent, but interesting. Could be Danny Welbeck. I think when you see that lineup, it's one of the first lineups I want to see. Matumo is going to be an outstanding GPP leverage play. He's one of the better attackers in the EPL right now. Is absolutely awesome. Is incredibly informed, and because of how loaded midfield is, like for most people, they're going to do, I think, Bruno Fernandes first. Probably take a long time and may fall to James Maddison. I have some trepidations with James Maddison. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And then either March or Gross, or both. I think that's very possible. If you have trepidations with James Maddison, why don't you just go with both? I think that's very viable. But Matoma, without sets, I don't think it's going to be very in there. So I think that's a really good way to go. Fullbacks are always fairly active, Estupiñán and Lamptey. And if you really want to like have some fun, Lewis Dunk is a huge target off of set pieces. Pair him with March and or Pascal Gross for some GPP fun. Nobody that I'm really interested in Bournemouth at all. Their sets are kind of all over the place, whether it's Anthony, whether it's Christie, if he ever comes back, Tavernier. But I just don't think it's safe for Bournemouth. We got 10 teams. I'm not going to take the biggest dog away. Just not. And a team that stinks. Django Otara, if you want to give me anybody because he's a forward, that would be probably the only guy I'd be considering. Next biggest favorite, Manchester United hosting Crystal Palace. Bruno Fernandes and Luke Shaw will be splitting sets. To me, they're both locks. Luke Shaw's only 5,500. I think he's the best defender on the slate. Yes, I'm talking to you, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Talking to you, Andy Robertson. I'll take Luke Shaw over you guys right now. As a Liverpool fan, not happy at all how Liverpool's playing, so there's not going to be a lot of Liverpool love on here. And I feel like they've played Wolves like 20 times now in the last month. Yeah, I think that's all I really want from United, though, because I do think Palace has a line to making this game kind of tough. Palace has a lot of fun players. If you want to play in GPP, Michael Olise will be 0 owned. I think that guy is like talent busting from the seam. Hopefully I'm going to get one of his silver cards here soon. Just love Olise. Split sets with Eze. Do some sort of combo with long-rooted revenge theory of Zaha busting at Manchester United. Pair with Kiata. Not too many people are going to do that. That's an interesting GPP route. But yeah, that would be the Palace side. I'll just jump back to Manchester United. I think Rashford's in really good form. I think Wout Weghorst is going to be the popular punt forward. He's only 4,500. He starts up top. Probably a little bit overdue for a goal. I know Ten Hag is actually really happy with how he's playing. So I would assume he's just right back in the starting lineup. Minus 250 favorite, $4,500 striker. I think people are going to go there. So just know that exists. And then whoever starts on the other side, Sancho is back in training. I would assume, though, it still is Anthony. I'm not an Anthony guy. I know he has a little bit of floor. So I don't think it's crazy to go him, instead if you go Bailey, if you're really, really high on United. But, I just said it. I'm not an Anthony guy. All right, Liverpool and Wolves, minus 118. Liverpool away. I don't know. Liverpool are not good right now. There's a lot of cohesion issues. The midfield's a mess. The backline's even more of a mess. I don't think it's crazy to see Wolves score here and maybe even score twice. Wolves aren't a fun team. I kind of, from a DFS perspective, I wish that Liverpool were playing anybody but Wolves, because this would be a fun, without Fabinho, without Van Dijk, without Konate, I just feel like that back line is just there for the taking. It's one of the reasons I don't like the fullbacks very much, because I just don't think that, I especially don't like Robertson. Anytime Liverpool have to be defensive, Robertson can't go forward as much, because he is a good defender. Trent Alexander-Arnold can go for a little bit more, but Trent's been just so bad. I just want to stay away from them, because I wonder if the tactics are going to have to make those fullbacks not push as high up as they want to. Just because of Fabinho's just been bad. And he's just kind of been dropped. And then, no VVD or Konate. I just wonder if the tactics change. So I'm avoiding them. Salah, I think we'll get some interest at 8,100. That would be the only Liverpool attacker. Gakpo has looked lost. Nunez is fine, but a little bit. It's funny, his forward's actually not that bad, even though he doesn't cross or anything. He just kind of gets a lot of shots and some fouls drawn. So you could argue him or Salah as a forward option, but I'm not a big fan of either. So nobody on Liverpool I really love that much at all. For Wolves, I think Jose Sa is a really good, pay down keeper. If you don't love any Liverpool attacking options, why not like the keeper? That just means Liverpool's going to score 5. So I guess I need a Liverpool hedge. Traore, I guess, is fine. Podence takes some sets. Sometimes it's Hugo Bueno. Sometimes João Moutinho comes back on sets. Wolves sets are just a mess to me, so I kind of have to stay away from them. But, I know I'm talking a lot of GPP, but I think a mini Wolves stack like Podence and, I don't like Diego Costa. I think he's just so long gone. But, and Raul Jimenez has never been the same since that. But I think start Cunha up top, something like that. Maybe that would be interesting. All right, Southampton going to Brentford. In Buemo. Actually, I'm going to piece these. All right, 2 games left. Southampton at Brentford. So I had to turn off, do a double take, because I'm like, oh, Buemo, that's the other forward. How did I miss him? Because they took away his forward eligibility too. So they took away Gross and Buemo, both of which would have been the top 2 forward cash options in my opinion this late. And Buemo and Jensen split sets. I think they're both fine. I think Josh De Silva is really interesting too in the midfield. I like Brentford at home a lot. If you have the ability to get up there, That's another really good contrarian GPP team. Tony's 8,900, but probably one of the best odds to score on the slate. I don't look at odds to score before here. I think it's a loaded number, but I really like Tony's chances to do that. The wingbacks don't get as forward as much as you think they should. But yeah, those are the plays. Jensen and Buemo. A little bit less now that they're midfield. I already went over midfield is really, really, really loaded at the top. Like, you're going to use Bruno. You're going to use one of Gross or March or both. And now all of a sudden you got to decide between, are you going to use an Buemo? Are you going to use a Jensen? Or are you going to go pay up for the likes of Madison? A lot of that's going to depend on like which forward you get. So yeah, it's a really interesting slate. The more I'm talking about it, like out loud, the more I'm like, man, there's a lot of ways to go. So maybe they did kind of accomplish something by taking away the forward eligibility. I just dislike them for it from a content perspective. It's so much easier just to be able to like, and just from like a cash build standpoint, like these are the guys. Southampton side of things, Ward-Prowse is in play. I mentioned that I like Brentford at home. I think they played really, really well at home. I don't remember Ward-Prowse's price. I didn't think about him too much, but I could kind of talk myself into it. It's just like, are you going to play him over Madison versus Villa, who I don't think is that good? Are you going to play him over a second of March or Gross? Probably not. And then are you going to play him over, a cheaper Mbeumo or Jensen? I think he's in a weird spot. But, he is playing the number 10. He is going to still take a monopoly set pieces, so he's interesting. The other option that's interesting on Southampton is James Bree, who's just bought. Came up from, is it Hull City? I think it's Hull City or one other, like, orange team in the championship. Crosses the ball a ton. Used to take set pieces down there. But he's going to be a big crosser. I don't remember his price, but just depending on it, he is interesting. All right, last game, Leicester versus Villa. I'm going to start on the Leicester side. So Villa is -106. I think James Madison is a great play. It's just always a fitness issue with Madison. Anytime he's on, he takes some monopoly set pieces. He's one of the better free kick takers. He and James Ward-Prowse are probably the best two. He's always live for a goal. James Madison also is always live for just like a huge letdown. I had plugged him in before doing this preview. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like liking the double Brighton pieces, just being real. But my God, this is a really good matchup. I would love it more at home. This is a fine matchup away to Villa, who aren't a possession-based team at all. So Leicester, should be able to kind of have some opportunities. So I do like Madison. That's probably all I like him on Leicester. Unless you want to like pair him and like Daka. I think Vardy, Storm was talking to me. I think he made a great point. Vardy's just lost a step or two, and he used to just be such like so important for him was like the ability to like run off the final shoulder and then let his speed beat the guy. He doesn't have that speed. It's just really hard for him to get behind those balls. So I thought that was a really good, astute observation. So I'm just not super high on Vardy. Leicester to me is like Madison or bust. Tielemans would be the guy if Madison for some reason were not to play. Villa, Leon Bailey is probably going to be the chalk cash forward option, 7K. Takes half set pieces. He and Luis normally split, especially as Coutinho likely to leave the club. Lucas Dean, can't remember if he's hurt or just dropped for Alex Moreno, but he's not there, so the sets are a little bit more straightforward than they've been. But yeah, Bailey is a really good option. Also plays like a second striker, so you get a little bit of goal upside with him too, on top of some set pieces. So yeah, I like Bailey. I don't like a lot of other Newcastle. I'm not a big Douglas Luiz guy. He's just that classic center midfielder that needs sets for his value, and if not, you have to rely on defensive peripherals, which is never my favorite thing. So that's how it goes. So core, let's go Bruno, let's go Luke Shaw, and then I'll let you choose Gross or March. And I kind of mentioned the option of playing both, but I mean, I guess I should have said Bailey. Oh man, what a party! I gave you way too much. Anyhow, I think from there it just gets really hard, so I didn't give that much away. There's a lot of decisions to be made, especially in GPP. Get wild. Don't be chalky. Like, the chalk on the slate is definitely going to be Bruno. I kind of think that Bailey might get a lot of steam, at least in high dollar, so maybe get off of him. And then get creative with Brighton. I think Brighton could smash here. So get creative, use Matomo. I like that a lot. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Sorry. And then, for a really, really contrarian GPP, look at Brentford. I think that could be a way to go as well. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, assuming if you are still watching that you did like this video, comment. All really helps. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck tomorrow. See you.